With the release of the new book, Go Set A Watchman, the sequel of the great American classic, To Kill a Mockingbird, coming out just about any day now. Let's see, when does it come out again? July 2015, American Day, July 14th, that's tomorrow. I gotta go to the bookstore. Anyways, with the release of the highly anticipated Go Set A Watchman just around the corner, I thought I would do a little history of its predecessor, To Kill a Mockingbird, and of its author, Harper Lee. Let's start with the plot of the book, To Kill a Mockingbird, for those of you who don't know. To Kill a Mockingbird is written from the first-person perspective of Jen Louise Finch, or better known as Scout Finch. In the book, we follow Scout, her brother Jem Finch, and a friend of theirs named Dill, as they go through adventures in school, summer, and of the mystery of Scout's neighbors, the Radleys. In the first few opening chapters, Scout is told about the odd and eerie behavior of the Radley home, and told about the youngest member of the family, Boo Radley, who has never been seen and is rumored to only come out at night and eat squirrels. Tasty. Naturally, the trio, as well as the rest of the town, is frightened and also fascinated of Boo and the stories told about the Radley household. Later on in the story, Scout's father, Atticus Finch, who is a lawyer, takes the case of a black man named Tom Robertson with a limp arm accused of raping a 19-year-old in the town named Mieli that name. Whatever her name is. This becomes a turning point for Scout, and the book focuses more on the impact of this trial and dealing with the backlash from the town, which, being that the book is set in the Deep South during the 1930s, was harsh and occurred often. To Kill a Mockingbird was released on July 11, 1960, and was met with great success both during its year of publication and today. It won the Pulitzer Prize in 1961, has been translated into over 40 languages, has been printed more than 400 million copies worldwide, was made into a movie in 1962, and is a play that is produced by the town of Monroeville till this day. To Kill a Mockingbird is a beloved American classic and explores themes such as race, gender, and childhood that have stood the test of time and are still applicable today. To appreciate this book even more, let's learn about the author and the multitude of parallels between author and book. Harper Lee was born on April 28, 1926, in a deep southern town of Monroeville, Alabama. She spent her entire childhood growing up there, which leads many to believe that her childhood had a heavy influence on her writing of To Kill a Mockingbird. Lee's father, Major Coleman Lee, I think is how you say it, was an attorney just like Atticus Finch, and in 1919 he defended two black men accused of murder, similarly to Atticus. Lee's brother was 4 years older than her, just like that of Jem in the book, and Lee's mother, while not dead like Scout's in To Kill a Mockingbird, suffered a nerve condition which left her absent for most of Lee's life. The book's setting of Macomb County, while it being fictional, is heavily based off of Lee's hometown of Monroeville. Though the most interesting of all is Harper Lee's childhood friend Truman Capote, who you may know as the author who wrote Breakfast at Tiffany's and In Cold Blood, was the main inspiration of the character of Dill, Scout and Jem's friend. After her childhood years in Alabama, Lee went to college at Huntington College in Montgomery from 1944 to 1945, then went on to study law at the University of Alabama from 1945 to 1949. During her time in college, she wrote many short stories and articles and continued to write after she moved to New York City to work as a reservation clerk for the British Overseas Airways Corporation in 1950. While in New York, she started writing short stories about Monroeville. She eventually took her stories to a publisher at J.B. Lippincott in 1957 at the request of Truman Capote. Now, here is where it gets interesting. Lee originally went to the publishers in hope to get Go Set A Watchman published, which contained flashbacks of Macomb County, but the editors found the flashbacks to be more interesting and told Lee to write a story about that, and this is how To Kill a Mockingbird was written. Lee ultimately spent 2.5 years writing To Kill a Mockingbird. The last year of writing, she was given donations from her friends, so she didn't have to work and could write continuously. After this great success, Harper Lee went on to write, well, nothing. Besides a short story here and there and the introduction of the 33rd anniversary of To Kill a Mockingbird, Harper Lee has not written a complete novel since 1960. I mean, it's been 55 years. Which makes the release of its sequel and Lee's return so much more interesting. As mentioned before, Go Set A Watchman was the original idea and has been completed for some time now, which leads me to believe that Lee, being of the ripe old age of 89, is sadly nearing the end of her life and wants to see her true book be released and recognized. I hold Lee in high regard because she is selective with her publications and doesn't release a book just to make some money. She believes in her work and truly loves it, and if Go Set A Watchman is half as good as To Kill a Mockingbird, then I will be entirely satisfied. So that's all. Hopefully you all enjoyed and learned something. I sure did. And go ahead and tell me in the comments your thoughts of To Kill a Mockingbird, and are you looking forward to the release of Go Set A Watchman? And if you excuse me, I'm going to go to the bookstore and get my copy of Go Set A Watchman and read it in one sitting, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. But hopefully you'll enjoy it, and I'll see you all later.